Does anyone remember when Fortnite was actually fun? Now don't get me wrong, Chapter 5 Season 3 has been a decent season, but I don't play it nearly as much as I did back in Chapters 1 and 2. I was playing Fortnite several hours a day, non-stop, trying to finish my battle pass and get to the highest level as I possibly could. But nowadays, Fortnite just doesn't hit the same anymore. I typically play a match or two and then just log off for the day. So what actually changed? In today's video, I'm going to be discussing why older seasons were better than the newer ones in Fortnite. So if you guys happen to enjoy this video, make sure to drop a like on the video and consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And without further ado, let's get right into this. So getting straight into this, I think everyone can agree that OG Fortnite Chapter 1, all the seasons in there were pretty much some of the best seasons we've ever gotten in Fortnite, and there's a good amount of seasons many people also enjoyed a lot from Chapter 2. Now some people may say the main reason we enjoyed it, especially with the whole OG Fortnite season we got back at the beginning of the year, many people will say it was because of nostalgia. And while I do think nostalgia was a factor of people really enjoying Fortnite, I don't think that's the main reason why so many people have fun with it and just keep playing it whenever it returns. Especially with the new reload mode, you can see tons of people already returned to Fortnite and are playing the new reload mode because it shares a lot of aspects from OG Fortnite, such as just a smaller map of it and a lot of the old guns from Chapter 1. And I'm saying right now, it is not because of nostalgia why people enjoy it so much. There is a certain formula Fortnite had for those old seasons and the entirety of Chapter 1 and some of Chapter 2. There's a formula Fortnite had to make people want to keep coming back to this game and playing it. So I'd say the first aspect of that formula is the simplicity of it. Taking a look at Chapters 4 and mostly Chapter 5, there's a lot of new aspects in Fortnite and a lot of new things, such as the weapon mods, the combat of the cars, the nitro fists in Chapter 5 Season 3, all these different special abilities in the game, the larger maps and POIs we've been getting, even NPCs, and there's just so many things that have been added into Fortnite that were not in the original Chapter 1, and honestly it makes it super overwhelming, especially if you're a casual player that doesn't keep up with the updates and stuff. It makes it super overwhelming to just come in and figure everything out, what guns are good, what power-ups to use, how to use them, and all these different mechanics within the game. Now what makes OG Fortnite so good from Chapter 1 and some of Chapter 2 is the fact that it's simplistic. You had two different types of shotguns for the most part, the tac and the pump. Sometimes the heavy was in there, or the combat. You had two different ARs for the most part, the normal AR and the burst assault rifle. And then there was either a grenade launcher, a rocket launcher, and there just wasn't that many different types of weapons. But still, there's not all these different weapon mods you need to equip to compete with other players, and there's not all these different power-ups and everything. There was no power-ups in Chapter 1 for the most part, and it really just wasn't chaotic at all. It was simple, battle royale, third-person shooter, and the only really unique technique you needed to know was building at the time. And that was really what made Fortnite popular to begin with, just the simple extra aspect of building. That's what made it different from your normal first-person shooter or third-person shooter, was building. It wasn't that complicated, and also the POIs were just so much more vibrant and colorful back in the day. Tilted Towers, Salty Springs, Retail Row, just such iconic spots to land at. They're colorful, they're memorable, it's easy to get around from spot to spot, and it's just overall amazing. It's pretty much just the perfect third-person battle royale shooter. Then you look at present-day Fortnite, and you have all these different POIs just all over the place. It's not really colorful or vibrant. None of these places are really memorable. As soon as this season ends, I'm literally gonna forget about most of the locations they took out of the game. It's just nothing that memorable, nothing that good. And it's because they're adding too many different spots that aren't really that fun to be around, and there's just too many different mechanics in the game. Leaving OG Fortnite Chapter 1, all those seasons, as simple as they were, was the key to having a successful game. And that's what newer Fortnite is missing overall. Not only that, but the development of these seasons are also much more subtle, if that makes sense. For example, going from Season 4 to Season 5 in Chapter 1, there was only like 2 new locations swapped out, and they were both really good locations in Lazy Links and Paradise Palms. They introduced the aspect of the cube and the rifts, and it wasn't that much to adapt to and figure out. Where you take a look at present day Fortnite, and we go from Chapter 5 Season 2 with Greek mythology, then you move into this completely new theme in Season 3, which it was cool at first, but I'm already bored of it, and there's too many things you have to learn to be good at the game. It's honestly just overwhelming, even for someone that actually plays the game somewhat often nowadays. The subtle updates were just good. Fortnite wasn't trying to do too much back in the day. They knew what worked, and they provided quality over quantity, and I think that's the main issue with Fortnite right now, is that they're trying to do too much. They're pushing all these new metas and aspects into the game, and it's just not working. I've said it before and I'll say it again, if Chapter 1 OG Fortnite was permanently in Fortnite, I'd still be playing this game much more often. I'd also say the Battle Pass was a key feature of what made Fortnite fun. I mean, there's such iconic skins from Chapter 1, and even some of the skins from Chapter 2, they were just so good, and I think what made them really good was that they were all original. I mean, we've had seasons where the entire Battle Pass was just Marvel skins or just something that comes from another franchise, but when Fortnite had original skins like the Drift skin or Omega or even the Black Knight, those are such iconic skins that people still remember to this day. Now I couldn't even tell you what the skins were from Chapter 5 Season 1. I couldn't name a single one actually, and it's because the skins just aren't that interesting anymore, or they're just completely unoriginal. And I remember back in Chapter 1 where I'd wake up super early to see what the new Fortnite skins were. I'd even skip school over it just to play the new season and check out all the skins and grind the Battle Pass. Nowadays, I don't even buy the Battle Pass anymore. I have bought some of them from like Chapter 4 and Chapter 5, but I didn't even buy the most recent one because the skins just aren't that interesting, and it's just really unfortunate that Fortnite is just continuing to go downhill. And not only that, but the Battle Passes were also much more simple to complete. I mean, back then you'd have to go from tier 1 to 100, and the tiers were different from your levels, because in Chapter 5 the Battle Pass is completely different. I'm not going to go into too much detail with it, but to go just one tier at a time, you can't just choose what you want to unlock, and getting to tier 100, it just had such a different feeling than it does now. It had more of a rewarding feeling to it, if that makes sense, and it's something I genuinely miss nowadays. And I think these were the two major aspects that are just completely different now from Fortnite. And I'd also add one thing, which you can't really control this in any game, but it's the skill level of what Fortnite has become. I mean, you look at Chapter 1, people didn't even know how to build at the time, and I think that's what made it fun, was being able to get better at building and learning new things and techniques that pros were discovering. For example, I remember when the 90s first came out, and I'd just go into Fortnite playground mode and just start practicing 90s all day, trying to get better. And Fortnite building mechanics have just gotten so good at this point. I think ranked has helped the issue of not running into as many sweats as normal, but still, the combat just isn't the same anymore. It's too complicated, and I just don't feel like putting in the hours to try and compete with others at this point. But these are just my thoughts on why Fortnite was just so much better back in Chapters 1 and Chapter 2. But anyways guys, that is going to wrap up this video, so thank you all so much for watching. If you guys want to see more videos like this, definitely let me know in the comment section down below. If you did enjoy it, make sure to drop a like on the video and consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Later.